Hey guys, this is Tim. I'm here at the onsen, and this is kind of like a hot spring, Japanese hot spring, and it's just been really relaxing and nice to kind of refresh a little bit. It was so great I ended up staying an extra day actually, but I will be going back tomorrow, and excited to go back and be with the family. And my guest today is Brendan.
Hello again.
And today, you actually proposed the topic that we're going to talk about today.
I figured we'd rank the New England states. Completely subjective, just based on our own experience, but maybe provide a little bit of info for people who are trying to visit, because they're small states, they get overlooked sometimes, and yeah.
Do you want to go ahead and take the lead on this one? Which one do you want to look at first?
Sure. Let's just go from south to north. Let's start with Connecticut. So we both grew up in Connecticut, so a little bit of bias there. But, my overall feeling about Connecticut is it is a bit underrated. I think it has some really nice, natural beauty, a lot of great state parks. It's got some beaches, even though they're mostly kind of rocky. Some really cute, quaint towns. New Haven's a really cool city, great food scene. You've got Yale, some nice museums. Hartford, not a lot going on in Hartford, but I think Connecticut, it also has great arts culture with the proximity to New York City in the Southwest, and it also has some pull towards Boston culture in the East. So I think overall, Connecticut, it does have its problems. It has some real wealth inequality, but I'd give it an A overall. I think it's a good state.
Yeah. Well, you got to use that to your advantage. You go ahead and basically just find a rich friend, and then you're basically your high school life is set pretty much. Yeah. What was your grade?
I give it an A.
I mean, if that's an A, I don't know what an S is. I love Connecticut. If I was ever going to move back to the U.S., it would definitely be there. And it's just a matter of not having the money to live there, essentially. But if I did have the money, I would, and I'd give it an S.
Sure. Cost of living, definitely a consideration.
Yeah. If you have infinite money, it's an S. Otherwise, sure, it's an A.
So moving east, we've got Rhode Island. Rhode Island looks kind of like a cracker that has been stepped on and splintered into pieces. It's a little odd, it's got Providence, that one big city. Providence is cool. I went there once. Very walkable.
Sorry, my wife keeps calling.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, keep going.
Do you need to get that?
No, it's fine. We'll just finish this.
Sorry. So Providence, it's a cute sort of New England city, and Rhode Island has some nice beaches and stuff too. But overall, I don't know. I don't get a sense of identity beyond Providence. I don't know. I'd say maybe a B.
Yeah. I don't think there's any real reason to go to Rhode Island unless you know somebody there. So I would say C. I view it as basically the state that you have to go through to get to Massachusetts. So that's its legacy for me.
A drive-through state, yeah. So speaking of Massachusetts, let's do that one next. I think Massachusetts really has it all. It's got mountains.
Yeah.
Beaches. It's got Boston, the biggest city in New England. Cape Cod is a whole world unto itself of just vacation paradise.
Yeah. Again, same thing with the rich friend thing. If you can find someone who has a house in Cape Cod or something, then that's the coolest friend you have. Because Cape Cod is excellent, and yeah. Yep.
I don't really like Boston sports or their fans, but I do like Boston, and we've been to Boston. We had a good time.
A lot of colleges there. Big college scene.
I think Massachusetts is probably the quintessential New England state. I give it an S for like the full experience.
Yeah, I definitely had Connecticut in my mind, and obviously I'm biased, but definitely Massachusetts, I think surpasses it. So yeah, definitely S number one.
And then maybe let's do Vermont next. So I have some fond memories of family vacations in Vermont. Growing up, we'd go stay at this kind of rustic house. It's a really great time. There was this kind of idyllic lake that we'd go to. But
sorry, she just keeps calling me. Sorry, keep going.
But beyond that, like, I just can't imagine living in Vermont. It just seems so rural, and like there's not like a big city to really anchor it. Like Burlington is the biggest city. It's just odd, and it has this kind of reputation as like just lots of cute little fudge and cheese shops, and these kind of outdoorsy crunchy people, which is fine. I don't know. I'd say maybe low B, high C overall.
I mean, I like Vermont. I think it has skiing, right?
Yeah.
Hey, that's cool. I mean, it's basically if you live in New England, that's basically where you have to go if you like skiing, right?
True. Well,
So,
New Hampshire has skiing too.
Okay. This is a small point, but I love the Ben and Jerry's factory.
Yeah.
That's basically what I think of when I think about Vermont. It's a really great location. I would give it an A. I think it's comfy.
Yeah.
Maybe I would give it a B, actually. It's a little bit far away from everything, although all those upper states are kind of. You have to travel with purpose if you're going to go there.
Maybe I've been too harsh on it. Yeah, maybe I'd go for a B. It is a really beautiful place, and maybe the rural quality is really appealing. Not having a metropolis really nearby.
Yeah.
Okay, then New Hampshire. I don't know what to think of New Hampshire. Like, the one time I ever went there was kind of in the winter. These family friends took us skiing and also snowmobiling, which was kind of cool. Like, we went snowmobiling across a frozen lake and stuff. But I don't know. It just seems like kind of a paler version of Vermont. Even less of an identity, really. I could be totally wrong here, but I just don't see the appeal. I've never really had a strong urge to visit. So I'd say C, maybe.
I've been there a few times, and it was great. Again, starting to notice a trend here, which is if you have a rich friend, you'll really love New England. Otherwise, there's no reason to go there. So I feel that way about New Hampshire as well. Yeah, if you have a destination, I think it's great, but otherwise a C.
Okay. And then finally, Maine. So the one time I ever went to Maine, I was like 2 years old. My parents brought me there on a vacation, and I remember, well, I don't remember, they remember that the whole time I was like clamoring to try lobster. I guess I was just like buying into the hype from all these billboards and restaurant signs and stuff. And so they finally got me some lobster, and I like immediately spit it out because.
So for that reason, D.
No, because I'm a Google Maps fiend, and I've been looking at Maine a lot lately, and seeing a lot of cool places I want to visit. A lot of hiking, a lot of Portland is supposed to be a really cool city, and I think Maine kind of has that really archetypal rocky Atlantic coast with like the salty air. Like I want to kind of get into those vibes. So I think it has a lot of potential. It's also a huge state. When you get up north, it's almost like Canada. I don't know. I'd say B, maybe even an A for the potential.
I was lucky enough to be able to be part of a group that did a section of the Appalachian Trail. We did some of Maine, and that was a really incredible experience. It was one of the best experiences of my life. So I also went sailing in Maine as part of that same kind of expedition group. Really, really great memories. And if I had the money, I'd love to do something like that again, but probably not going to happen. But just for that alone, I love Maine. I think I'd go A with Maine.
Nice. Yeah. You know, anyone in the comments, if you have strong feelings about what we've said here, you know, feel free to prove us wrong if we've been far off on our assessment here.
And and the whole thing I said about, you know, having money, I think that's just true of life. Like, the more money you have, the more you'll enjoy any place you go to. But I think it's definitely particularly true with New England, because a lot of those things like hiking, skiing, you know, sailing, those are all expensive one-time things for a normal person.
That's why states, especially like Connecticut, have that kind of country club image.
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing I would say about Connecticut, one thing that's really great about it is just its proximity to New York City. I think that's one thing it has over Massachusetts. I would still probably put Massachusetts at an S, but New York City is just such a center of the world that being able to have such close access to it, you can get there within like an hour or two. It's really excellent.
And that sort of Italian immigrant wave that, you know, hit New York in the early 20th century also spread to Connecticut, which is why we have amazing pizza.
Absolutely, yeah. That's by far the worst thing about Japan, is that the pizza here is terrible. They put like shrimp and mayonnaise on the pizza here. Not even joking. Anyway. Yeah, definitely New England is my favorite part of America, and I miss it a lot.
Well, enjoy the rest of your onsen time.
Yeah, I'll probably, I just finished the wave, and I'll probably, my hair's starting to dry, so I'll probably get back in there. But thanks, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow for the next tier list.